So match day 5 is done, and basically I will be going over my predictions and how it sort of fared out. I think actually this week I've done better than I usually would, because I'm usually not that great at predicting results, but this week I've actually done pretty well. So let's go over my predictions and how I did. First game of the weekend was Spurs against Liverpool at Wembley. I predicted that it was going to be 3-1 to Liverpool. Gini Wijnaldum and Roberto Firmino made it 2-0 to Liverpool before Eric Lamela made it 2-1 to give Tottenham a consolation goal. So I did say that Liverpool was going to win, I just didn't get the result quite correct. But yeah, I knew that Liverpool was going to win. It was just something about their attacking intent. Tottenham had a couple of defensive mistakes, well, goalkeeping mistakes that helped Liverpool get the victory. So Liverpool retain their unbeaten record in the league. Next up, we have the start of the 3 o'clock games, which was Bournemouth against Leicester. I said it was going to be a much tighter game than what it was. I said it was going to be 2-2, a high-scoring game. It was in the end, but it wasn't a draw. It ended up 4-2 to Bournemouth. Bournemouth were 4-0 up through 2 Fraser goals, Josh King and Smith. Captain Wes Morgan got 2 yellow cards to get sent off. And Leicester got 2 goals in 2 minutes through Maddison and Albrighton to give them a little bit of what pride they had left. But the result ended 4-2. Next up, we have Chelsea against Cardiff. I said it was going to be a 3-goal deficit, but I said it was going to be 3-0 rather than 4-1, which it ended up being. Eden Hazard scored 3 goals, and Willian added on a 4th after Bamba put Cardiff ahead. It was a very convincing performance from Chelsea, apart from those first 20 minutes when they conceded. But once Hazard scored, you knew what was going to happen. It was going to be one of those games where Chelsea was just going to run away with it. And next up, we have Huddersfield against Crystal Palace. I said that Huddersfield would win 2-1. However, Palace won 1-0 through Wilfried Zaha, who did get pretty battered during the game. There was a couple of challenges on him which didn't seem that great, and he did say after the game, do I have to get my leg broken for a man to be sent off? So he's not very happy at the moment. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a tight affair, and I knew either team was going to win. I just went with Bournemouth, but Palace did go away with the 3 points in the end. Now next up, we have Manchester City against Fulham. Now this was another case, just like Chelsea against Cardiff. It wasn't going to be a case of who won, it was a case of how many they was going to score, and Manchester City did score 3 goals. It was another 3-goal deficit. I said it would be 4-1, but they actually won 3-0 through Leroy Sané, David Silva and Raheem Sterling. They once again made a dominating performance, and they will try to retain their title, but they're just outside of that point at the moment because of Chelsea and Liverpool having their 100% records. So I was right on that, just wasn't right on the score. And then we finished off the 3 o'clock games with Newcastle against Arsenal. I said it was going to be 3-1 to Arsenal. Arsenal did win, but it was only 2-1. Granit Xhaka scored a stunning free kick and then was part of the goal for Mesut Ozil to make it 2-0. Before Clark got a 90th minute consolation goal. So again, I was on the right side of the result, I just wasn't on the right side of the score. And then the final Saturday fixture, Watford against Manchester United. I said it would be 2-1 to Manchester United and Watford would lose their 100% record. And I was right. Manchester United won 2-1 through Romelu Lukaku and Chris Smalling. Andre Gray got a goal back for Watford, but it was unfortunately not enough as Manchester United spoiled the early party for Watford. So we move on to our Sunday games, which we start off with Wolves against Burnley at the Molineux. Jimenez scored a goal which was enough to give Wolves a 1-0 win, which puts Burnley bottom of the league. I said that Wolverhampton Wanderers would lose 2-0 against Burnley. Now the final game of Sunday, my boys West Ham United. I said we would lose 2-0 against the bogey team. That was not the case. We actually won against Everton at Goodison Park. It was actually a really dominating performance and better than what I thought we could have done, because I thought Everton, they would have turned us a new one. But yeah, Yarmolenko scored 2 very well worked goals and Arnautovic added 1 on. Sigurdsson got 1 but just before half time, which set the tones down a little bit after 2 goals from Yarmolenko. But West Ham have finally got points on the board and we are out of the relegation zone. Not sure how long that will be though, because we've got Chelsea on Sunday, so I'm not sure how that is going to pan out. Whether we continue our fine form or whether we just fall back to earth. But it was a dominating performance. It was a good performance from Yarmolenko, who I said should have been starting from the very first game against Liverpool. It was a very good second goal. Very well worked from the Ukrainian. Just really well placed past Jordan Pickford, who made a mistake leading up to that goal. But yeah, it's finally good to have a win that wasn't just in the League Cup. So we are finally off on the mark. So it's whether we can keep this up now. We have got a hard run of fixtures coming up within the next few weeks. So we need all the points we can get. And finally, to finish off match week 5 predictions, we have got Southampton against Brighton. Now I said it would be 2-2 and Southampton let go a 2-0 lead. You guessed it, to draw 2-2. Now, Højbjerg, I don't know if I've milked that name a little bit, but anyway, scored a really good curved goal. I remember seeing this before I went out last night. It was a really delicately curved shot. It looked like it was destined to go wide, but it did go in. Southampton had the lead. And then Danny Ings converted a penalty on the 65th minute before Duffy got one back 2 minutes later. And Brighton's cult hero, well, I think he would be a cult hero after last night, Glenn Murray scored a 91st minute penalty to earn Brighton a point against Southampton. So those were my predictions on the weekend and how it fared against the results. I think I actually did pretty well. If I had a score thing, I'm fairly sure I would have got a few points on that. But I am thinking of doing a new series where I go up against someone each week and we see who gets the better results. So if you would like to see that, just let me know. And I'll try to get someone each week. I'll try to do it for the FA Cup and the Champions League. Obviously not tonight's games because they're already happening. So I can't really do that. So yeah, I think that is about it. So I'll see you guys on the next video, which I think is going to be a Premier League preview. And then we've got the West Ham Chelsea game on Sunday. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.